All right, my little honey pot pies. I just had a realization of a belief I didn't even realize was sitting in my mind, and I want to share it with you. Now, it's cold and it's cozy where I am right now, so I am just going to nestle in. So feel free to do the same. Grab yourself a cup of tea or a coffee if you want to, or maybe you want to go and clean something in the house so that you feel like you've progressed while you're listening to this. You do you. But this belief that I had sitting in my brain, I didn't realize it was there. I've been doing work on myself for years. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. So I'm always tapping into my own mind. I'm always working with other people. And I find beliefs and identity to be fascinating. And yet, when I was journaling earlier today, one of them just popped out in front of me, which, by the way, the more that you do this work and the more that you tap into your subconscious, the louder it becomes. It's no longer like this quiet little thing that's as hidden, and it will rear its head and show itself more often. It's almost like the scared little puppy dog is no longer scared, and it'll be like, hey, just so you know, you feel like this underneath. And that's what happened to me. And it was a belief that I'm really disgusted with, like absolutely disgusted with. So this was it. Sitting there journaling in this beautiful beach house. And I was like, where do I want to be in 5 years? And my brain was like, I want to be here. Like, I want this to be like my reality, not just visiting it for the weekend. Like, I want it to be mine. And then I was like, then I asked myself, because I talk to myself when I journal, I ask myself questions, and then I just allow my brain to spill out whatever comes through. That's called automatic journaling. And it's a way to tap into your subconscious. So I was like, well, what's stopping you? And my mind's reply was, ready for it? Because you believe that wealth can only come through men. Wealth can only come through men. Where on God's green earth have I picked up that belief? Was it societal? Because most men, historically speaking, are wealthier than women. Yeah, probably. Usually it's the woman at home. Usually the man wins the bread, like he's the income earner. Was it from my parents? I don't know. I grew up with a single mum and she ran her own businesses. So I don't know. I'm feeling like it's more societal. Is it based off of past relationships because I was a stay-at-home mum? Because then I got really curious and I was like, this is a disgusting thought. Who does it belong to? Because this isn't mine and I want to hand it back to them. It was pretty much the energy that I had. And so I sat there for a little while and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to EFT tap this out. So I literally sat there and I'll put the snippet in here. And I went through reminding myself that it was safe for me to make money, that it's okay for me to make money, that wealth doesn't always have to come from men. And it was really interesting because by the time I got through the EFT tapping sequence that I did for myself, I went, that was such an interesting belief to come up. And this is the thing with beliefs, that our beliefs are like our inner programs. So think of yourself as a robot, kind of creepy with today's age. But if you think of yourself like a robot, and your soul is what makes you human, really. Like, without our soul, we are just a bag of bones and flesh and skin. The only thing that makes us different, really, is the fact that we have this thing called a soul that connects us to the heavens or this greater consciousness. And our programs are what control the more robotic, automated ways that we think. And this is why it is so important that we go into our own minds and that we look for the weeds that are growing in the garden of our mind, or go into our computer room within our mind and find the faulty, dodgy programming like the one that popped up today and was like, hey, just so you know, this dusty old belief is sitting in the back closet of your mind. And no, thank you. Let me remove that, please. So this is where clinical hypnotherapy can become its most useful, really. Like, lots of people think that you need hypnotherapy to solve trauma and that you go there because you need to get better. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it's just that you want to reach the best level of yourself and you have all of these beliefs underneath that are stopping you from progressing, like stuff that you don't even realize is sitting there. Never in my wildest dreams, if you ask me in a conscious moment, would I respond with, well, only men can make money. What a crock of poo. But yet somewhere deep in me, that belief was residing. Like, give me a bucket, please. That's revolting. With that said, your beliefs and your programs play out your automatic robot, and what you want to be trying to tap into more so or utilize and reach to more is that real soul aspect of you, that aspect of you that is connected to the heavens, to God, whatever it is that you want to call it, like that creation source. And choose better beliefs for yourselves, because sometimes the beliefs that are instilled in us, we don't know that they're there, and they're crusty and they're keeping you stuck, they're keeping you stagnant. Now, as a total fun fact sidetrack, when I was really little, I must have been maybe 6, my mum had me in hypnotherapy. And I actually didn't realize that I did hypnotherapy as a child until I was studying hypnotherapy. And I was like, hang on a minute, I've done this before. Because I remember as a little girl, this lady would lay me on the table and she would get me to do some eye movements. And then she would take me into my brain room and there would be a closet with videotapes in it. And I remember taking out the tapes, and sometimes we would watch them and then I would throw them into the fire, or I could put them back on the shelf if I wanted to, or sometimes I wanted to like make my own video, like, and that is hypnotherapy. And I find it so fascinating that somehow between me being a child and doing hypnotherapy as a child, and then I've had this creative mind for as long as I can remember of visualizing things, seeing things in metaphors, and becoming a clinical hypnotherapist who is now helping, teaching and training other people how to utilize their mind and how to spot these dodgy beliefs so that they can up-level their own life is fascinating. So maybe there's even things from your own childhood, both positive but maybe also negative, that are hiding within your subconscious. And I say positive and negative like very lightly, but things that are either going to help you grow or inhibit you is maybe better language. But there's going to be so much within you that you don't realize is there. So many little instances, things that people have said, things that didn't happen that made you feel a certain way about yourself. So someone didn't play with you, or mum or dad didn't look at that picture or that thing that you made that was really important to you. So then you've internalized the fact that the work that you do isn't good enough to show. And now as a grown-up, you're wanting to do something, you're wanting to build something, and your internalized programming is, well, there's no point because it's not going to be good enough. Imagine being able to go into your mind, into your subconscious, and then alter and change and tweak that into something way more powerful. Imagine how much more you would flourish. That is the power of hypnotherapy. And I just want to share the belief that came through in my mind because I found it wildly, wildly fascinating. And that is why I will continue to still do this work myself, because it is so powerful. I don't want those things lingering in the background. It's like when you pull forward like a chest of drawers or a couch from the wall and you go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much dust and junk and grossness was back there, until you look there and you're like, yeah, that needs to go. That was pretty much today in a nutshell. If you found this podcast interesting, entertaining, you learned something, you got some questions, Let me know in the comments, because I would love something to riff off of so that I can help you grow and flourish and become a better and just more calmer, grounded version of you that you are wanting to become.